Admittedly, we've had a bit of a run of entitled brat types getting what they deserve in the body cam reviews in the last few months.
You guys can pick me up. I don't know what the you want.
Stop policing me.
It's a guilty pleasure of mine, and I know you guys enjoy it even if you won't admit it. But like all things in the universe, there must be balance. Yin and yang, uppers and downers. And in this case, a respectful non-brat getting a treatment that she doesn't deserve.
So unfortunately, I do have to place you under arrest.
Also, this one hits especially close to home for me because I got pulled over on some bullshit pretense and arrested for almost the exact same charges when I was 20 years old, forever ago at this point, and the girl we're about to watch here is 20 years old right now. So let's check it out, and I'll also give you my arrest story as we get further along. Here we go.
Hello. I stopped you because the car is coming back with an abandoned vehicle.
Oh, really?
Yes. Whose car is it?
It's my dad's car, but
Okay. Did he have it towed in like Miami?
it was.
You, like I, are probably thinking to yourself, what the fuck does it mean when a car comes back as an abandoned vehicle? Like, I would think it means it's not registered or something, but that's not the case. Let's continue to listen. Apparently it has something to do with it being towed, which has happened to me before, but I've never had an abandoned vehicle.
Whose car is it?
It's my dad's car, but
Okay. Did he have it towed in like Miami?
it was towed in Miami. I had it towed in Miami and we had to get it back.
Okay, so you were driving it in Miami?
Yes.
Okay.
And he knows he had to get the whole thing notarized.
Let me see driver's license. I gotta confirm it with Miami because
Okay.
they're the ones that entered it into the system.
Okay.
So when a car gets towed and the owner is not present, they usually enter it as an abandoned vehicle.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
So it's going in the system, so cops that run, if a cop runs your tag, it's gonna pop up as an
Oh, wow. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, I got towed like a month ago, so I'm surprised this is the first time.
Yeah. Alright, well, I'm gonna have them confirm it and get that taken out of the system, and I'll be right back.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah.
So I don't know if this is a state-to-state thing, but apparently since her car got towed and it's registered to her father, since he wasn't there to claim it, maybe she claimed it, I would think that the second you go pay to get the car out of the impound, which costs a shitload, it's now not abandoned because I went and got my car. But apparently there's some notarizing that has to go on behind the scenes, some red tape, some paperwork, so that it's basically like a free excuse to pull her over. Sounds like she didn't even know that the car she was driving was gonna come back that way, which makes sense. Dad probably forgot to take care of it and she's just using his car or whatever. Clearly not doing anything nefarious, and obviously that is a legal means to pull someone over, but that's bullshit pretense for me. Not sure why they were running her tags in the first place, honestly. So another officer
What's
arrives
going
on
on?
scene.
How much?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just driving home.
Oh yeah? Alright. I'm just her backup, so
Okay.
let's see what's going on.
What?
So what happened? So where was this car?
It was in Miami. I went down to get a tattoo and I
Uh-huh.
parked in front of the fire hydrant and I didn't realize that I was
Oh.
fire hydrant.
You don't want to mess with the boys.
Yeah, and within 5 minutes of me being there, I was towed.
So we just gotta sit here and wait a little bit.
Awkward. So I'm not an officer and I don't really know procedural norms, but calling for backup on this call seems a little bit overboard maybe. I could be missing something, but this female officer came up acting real friendly. And to me, that's always when you know you're in for some shit. You know, I want my officers to be concise and decent, not acting like we're about to go grab some pad thai together. So far, this girl is acting completely respectful. She's totally lucid. No reason to give her a hard time over some abandoned vehicle mishap because her car got towed a month ago in Miami.
What's that? I'm so sorry, my car's a little messy.
Listen, this is not messy compared to what kind of cars I see on a daily basis.
Oh,
You're fine. You're good. Have you been pulled over before?
I have been
Oh, okay.
back in 2018.
Oh, okay.
Small talk? What are we
I
doing?
just didn't want you to be like nervous.
Oh no, I'm okay.
Okay. I had people cry.
Oh,
All the
I
time.
cried last time.
Yeah.
I was speeding, so.
Oh, okay.
The officer takes note of the woman moving her purse away from her line of sight, or
I'm gonna ask
just
you a question, alright?
checking her purse.
Mind if I search the car?
Fuck right off with that bullshit. This girl's been nothing but cooperative, pulled over on some bullshit, been complying with everything, totally lucid, clearly not banged up on drugs, and you want to search her car because she touched her purse? This is when I start to get a little bit aggravated. In all the body cam videos we've looked at thus far, the subjects act irrational, insane, and the officers, I'm always giving them credit for acting patient and dealing with the situation with poise and doing what they have to do, doing their job given the crazy circumstance. In this one, I'm flipping that on its head a little bit. I'm not a big fan, and you're gonna see this as we go a little bit forward. I'm not a fan at all of how this situation was handled. I understand that there may be an element of they're just doing their job, but when we look at this whole thing, You tell me what you think. Let's keep it going. And she's too nice. She doesn't know. She just immediately complies. I would have been like, fuck out of here. Why? Why do you need to search my car right now because you pulled me over on some bullshit towing shit and I've been sitting here cooperating? Now you want to search my car? Absolutely not. She should have said no, but she's young. She's 20 years old. She just probably doesn't understand her rights yet.
Can I ask why you guys are searching the car?
There you go.
She asked.
Okay.
And that was her response. Can I ask why you're searching my car? And her response was, cause she asked. That's not an answer, bitch! Seems to me like they're trying to find a problem where there isn't one, and because she asked isn't a real answer. Fuck out of here with that. Honestly feels a bit like an invasion of her right to privacy. And speaking of privacy, today's video sponsor is a beast at keeping your privacy safe and secure. So let's chat about that for a moment and we'll get back to the finale and my arrest story. Ladies and gents, if you still aren't using a VPN in 2023, you're practically raw dogging the internet, which is not only irresponsible, it's downright nasty. You see, NordVPN offers you top-tier security, privacy, freedom, and the fastest VPN speeds on the planet in the click of a button, and I got you covered with a custom deal that'll get you 4 months for free.
All right, Leon, I know VPN stands for Virtual Private Network, but I still don't really know what it does.
When you connect to a VPN, you are encrypting and funneling your data through a secure server that makes it impervious to nefarious actors and data farming internet service providers that like to sell all of your online habits for their own profit. You just pull up their intuitive app, connect to your server of choice. For me, that's New York. You can also hit Quick Connect if speed is the priority. And you're ready to surf, download, stream, and search for questionable furry costumes without the risk of being exposed. You also have the choice to connect to servers all over the world. If you wanted to make it look like you're in the United States while you're on vacation abroad, for example, no problem. This is especially useful when you want to find your favorite shows on popular streaming services that are oftentimes region specific. For example, I'm watching through The Office for the first time with my wife right now, but it's not available on Netflix US. So I connect to a UK server, and bingo bango, we're overdosing on Michael Scott saying,
"That's what she said."
It's no risk to you with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee, and if you click the link in my description box below, that's nordvpn.com/LeonLush, you can sign up to get 4 months for free. I really think you're gonna appreciate the features and value Nord has to offer, so please check it out. Links in the description. Thank you so much for listening. You know I appreciate you. Now you're just gonna go through all her things over... Why, let's search through her wallet, her purse, we'll go in her trunk, we'll just turn this shit upside down. This young 20-year-old girl.
I do.
It's bad for her.
I know.
You should not vape. Do you use like flavors or?
Shut the fuck up. Oh, is that a vape? Oh, you know it's bad for you. You should not vape. Vaping's a bad habit. Okay, Mom. Okay, what are you, the fucking DARE officer? Am I in middle school right now? Shut the fuck up. Let me do what I want. Why are you searching my car?
Yeah, it's just been...
Now we have a bit of a problem. Yes, the old backup ID to the backup ID.
My dad gave it to me.
Very nice. Get off work or working out or?
No, I just got a haircut. Actually, I work at 4. So.
And I wish it would cool off.
Yeah. Oh my God. It's when I get into my car, because in my driveway, the sun just beats right down in it.
Sun visor.
I do have one in the back seat. I just always forget when I'm coming from work to put it up.
Do you have a medical marijuana card?
I do not.
No. Do you ever smoke weed?
I have.
How long has it been since you smoked weed?
I smoked it yesterday.
Did you?
She's nice, she's honest. I mean, the idea that we're still criminalize people for having a little bit of personal weed, right? Like you're asking her, when's the last time you smoked weed? I guess maybe she's trying to figure out if she's gonna admit to being high right now. But she's like, I smoked weed yesterday, I'm not gonna lie about it. Like, you're gonna take me to jail over smoking a little doobie in my spare time? Jesus, like, it's the small talk she's creating while the officer is in her car turning her shit upside down. While at the same time, she's like acting nice and kind of being like, oh, you smoke weed? You smoke weed a lot? Like, it just seems like they're trying to make her incriminate herself on some petty shit because they have nothing better to do? I don't know. The problem is they found what looked like some fake IDs, and that is a problem, and that is related to the arrest charge I got, which I'll talk to you about in a second after we get a little bit farther.
I'm still waiting to hear back. We sent the confirmation out to Miami to have it removed from the system. I'm still waiting to hear back if they had it done yet. Now you know not to park in front of a fire hydrant.
Yeah, I know. Oh my God, my dad was fucking furious. It's just an eyelash brush.
You got a lot of these.
Yeah, I get my eyelashes done, and she gives me some every time I go.
Like, dang, what are these?
Yeah, so what happened? She went to Miami a month ago to get a tattoo and parked in front of a fire hydrant, apparently by accident, she claims. That's why the car got towed. And since that happened, whatever paperwork didn't get filled out is the reason for this pullover right now that somehow turned into her entire car getting searched, her being told not to vape, it's bad for you, and oh, do you smoke weed? Are you a weed smoker? And then she finds some fake IDs, and then it keeps going here.
Yeah, I bet your car gets really hot.
Oh my god, I can't even touch my steering wheel.
Read anything or no?
Huh?
She read anything or no?
No.
She read anything or no? I think she's talking about Miranda rights here.
I did have a weed
You have a weed pen?
and I really...
So right there, you can tell this girl's like, all right, she made the decision. She's searching the car pretty good. She decides to admit that she does have a weed pen in her car. They probably would have found it anyways, and I'm sure they would have to do some type of test to figure out what was in it. But she's like, you know what? I'm just going to jump the gun and incriminate myself. She probably should just say nothing and stop having small talk with these officers. She should have never let them search the car to begin with. Again, I don't, use it. I'm typically on the side of the police when they're dealing with people that suck, which is all the time, right? I'm a very big fan of police intervening and taking care and owning people that suck. This girl just seems like a nice young girl that does not deserve to have her life turned upside down over some dumb shit. So now she's admitted to having a weed pen, and oh, we got you. Now we're gonna have to read you your Miranda rights because you just incriminated yourself.
All right, if we're going to talk about anything like a weed pen, I got to read you your rights, okay? Or you mean you're under arrest? It doesn't mean you're under arrest. It just means I have to read your rights. We're going to talk about it, okay? All right, you have the right to remain silent, not answer any questions, okay? Any statement you make must be freely and voluntarily given, okay? You have the right to the presence and representation of a lawyer of your choice before you make these statements during the question.
Got the old
okay?
Miranda rights laminated 3x5 there. Doing the old, put the readers on real quick. And
okay? If any time in the
you
year
got the-
you do not wish to answer
the
questions,
attorney,
you are
no, what's that
promised to
saying there?
remain
The
silent, you understand?
right to
I can
an,
make no threats or promises to induce you to make a statement.
that attorney may be
You
appointed to you?
understand?
You know, actually, if you
Any
just go ahead, you
statement
can
I
read
will
that.
make
I
to
can't
you
really
in
see that very
Do you
well.
understand those rights? That's not a weed pen, right?
No, it's not.
That's just your vape pen?
It is.
Why do you carry it right now?
I usually don't, but I had it in my lap when I was driving, and I didn't have anywhere to
Yeah,
put
she
it.
said she has a marijuana pen in there.
Had fake IDs.
All right, did you read her rights? She's got the Mirandas. We got the weed pen. We found it. We're gonna need SWAT and fire down here. Can we get a little more backup, please? This shit's getting out of control.
I did have a weed.
And you have fake IDs.
She's got a blueberry kush flavored hybrid vaporizer. Not nearly enough backup for a criminal of this caliber. Come on.
And you have fake IDs.
They are mine. They're in my name.
Yeah.
They're what?
They're in my name.
Oh, you had these made up.
They were ordered.
That's what she meant.
So you had them made up.
New Jersey
Not
fake
me
IDs.
personally,
That's
but-
exactly what I had.
Not you personally.
My friend made.
You asked your friend for it? Because like, people don't usually just...
No, I know. Yeah. Okay. I was just saying I didn't physically make the order. But yes.
Yeah, you went there and asked them to have them made. You got 3 of them? Or just some more?
No, there's only that.
Do you have a testing? Or no?
Yeah, I do. Fourth one.
Okay.
Maybe we get that
So,
weed pen
what
test
was the
kit.
deal with those?
They were in my purse.
No, I get the obvious, but what's the, like, what are they for?
Oh, you get the obvious, do you? Are you? If you got the obvious, you wouldn't have to ask that dumb fucking question. She's 20 years old, likes to drink once in a while, probably. Maybe likes to hit a bar once in a while with the girls home from college. Like 99% of 20-year-olds in the United States of America, where the legal age to drink an alcoholic beverage is inexplicably 21 years old, and the legal age to sign up to the military and get sent overseas with a strong chance of coming home in a body bag is 18. Oh, you got a fake ID? What do you have those for? Oh, she's just using them to operate a multi-million-dollar drug trafficking operation out of Miami. You see there on that second one there, the alias is Chapo. Fucking dumbass.
I don't know. I have them. My friends got them because we're all in college, and they want me to come and visit them in college.
How old are you?
I'm 20. I'm gonna be 21.
All right, so now that we get the gist of what's happening to her, the parallels of what's happening to her and what happened to me when I was 20 years old are staggering, and I want to explain exactly what happened to me just so I can get it off my chest because it really grinds my gears. To this day, I still haven't gotten over it. I'm actually so fired up, I'm going to use a web-based version of MS Paint to illustrate to you guys exactly what happened. So it's summertime, I'm 20 years old, I'm home from college, it's evening time, I'm heading out to see my friend that lives 20 minutes away. He's having a little party at his house, so I'm bringing a few things along. We're going to have a nice little time. Safe, secure, just doing what 20-year-olds do, enjoying each other's company, maybe a sip or two. I need to stop at a 7-Eleven to pick up cigarettes along the way because I was a degenerate and used to like to socially smoke. And there was a 7-Eleven at an intersection. This, for the sake of my unbelievable handwriting, is the 7-Eleven. This is the road to his house. This is the intersection. I was coming from this way and going this way. These are the cute little parking spots in front of the 7-Eleven here. So there was a car already parked in this parking spot right here, and I pull in and park right next to it right here. Unbeknownst to me, there is a state liquor commissioner parked across the street right here. His line of sight, or LOS in this case, is from here, the windshield, he's looking this way. So I get out of my car here. I go in the store, here, the counter is right here. Unbeknownst to me at the time, the person that I parked behind due to his line of sight came out of the store while I was in it and loaded the trunk with beer and then took off. I buy my cigarettes, I purchase no booze, I come out of the store, I get into my car, I pull out and I get on my way over to my friend's house and I take off. I've done nothing illegal. This little piece of shit right here apparently thought that he saw something illegal, so he pulls out, follows me down this road for an entire mile, probably runs my tags, finally pulls me over. And the reason he gave me for pulling me over is that he saw the woman that was parked next to me come out of the store and put beer in my truck. I was driving a pickup truck. The bed had a cover over it, but he claimed that he saw her put beer in my truck, which was patently false. I don't know if it's because of his line of sight and he genuinely thought that she put beer in my truck, but she put the beer in her own car and left. I didn't even know that woman from Adam, but that's why I got pulled over. I had done nothing wrong. I argued with him that he was lying, but he asked me to search my car. I was 20 again at the time. I didn't know what to say. I think I said no. I think he probably threatened me. He was a bit of a dick. I ended up having to get out of my car. He put handcuffs on me because he already thought I was guilty of transportation of alcohol as a minor, which I wasn't, but it just so happened since I was going to a party, I had beer in my trunk. Now here's the kicker. The beer in my trunk was an already open 12-pack filled with a hodgepodge assortment of random cans and bottled beer. It was like 9 beers and a 12-pack of Coors Light with like IPAs, shock tops, a bunch of bullshit. So there's no way I could have bought that at the store and had it put in my trunk. It was obvious when you saw the beer that it didn't come from 7-Eleven. But he searched the trunk and found that beer that I brought from my house, and now I'm guilty for transporting alcohol as a minor. So he gets me in those cuffs nice and tight. He searched my whole car. He takes out my wallet, and guess what? He finds my fake ID. That was also a New Jersey fake ID that I also had my friend make for me when I was 20 in college, exactly like this broad here. It's so funny that it's actually the same state.
When I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
Apparently, New Jersey's the easiest ID to fake. It looks like 20 years later, not much has changed.
There's some really shady that happens down there.
Then he searches my backpack, and whoops-a-daisy, I have a bit of a marijuana pipe in there. I didn't even have any flour on me at all. It was my friend's pipe. I was bringing it back to him, but of course it had been used and it had a bunch of resin in it, so that counts as possession of marijuana. So here I am, 20 years old. I'm getting ready to go into my senior year of college, home for the summer. I'm cuffed and stuffed in the back of this dude's cruiser. He's giving me a whole bunch of lip, and I'm getting charged for a whole bunch of nonsense. He takes me back to the station, books me. I have to appear in court. I end up getting probation based on good behavior. I pay, I think, a $650 fine for the fake ID thing, which is actually the worst charge out of the 3. Apparently, possession of a false document of identification is technically a felony if it is charged at the highest level. Obviously, I'm a non-problematic person, so I was able to pay the fine. And then the weed thing was put on the shelf based on good behavior, and I think I paid a fine for the transportation of alcohol. But I mean, this dude was a dick. He was like threatening I was gonna fuck up my education. Like it was really hanging over my head my senior year at college, because the whole year at college, I was like, if I get dinged on campus for doing something stupid, like I'm at a frat party and it gets busted up and it's like, oh, you get busted for underage drinking. Now all the stuff that was put on the shelf comes off the shelf and I can be recharged with all of these things they said I wasn't going to be charged with if I got through the probationary phase. Was I doing something illegal? Sure, technically.
I sentence you to death.
Was I pulled over on bullshit pretext? Absolutely. Am I a menace to society? No. I was going over to my buddy's house to probably play fucking Halo and smoke a little weed and drink some Coors Lights. Like, give me a fucking break. Did I really need to go to jail that night? Fuck the liquor commissioner in New Hampshire. I forget his name, but fuck that guy. And fuck these two broads arresting this girl on a felony for fake IDs and a little bit of a weed pen. You can tell I have a little bit of a soft spot because this girl reminds me exactly of myself. Good citizen, cooperative, just doing what a lot of young kids do, like technically not following the law. Technically, but guess what? A lot of laws are fucking dumb. Anyways, let's get back to it. I hope you enjoyed my illustration. All right, so we're back. This girl's about to get the hammer dropped on her.
Where did you get it from?
One of my friends.
Where did you get?
Like, your friend bought it for you?
Yes, I don't know.
Sounds like your friends do a lot for you.
They probably shouldn't.
Oh, is that for you being passive aggressive, you dumb bitch? Is that, it sounds like your friends do a lot for you, like get you all these illegal things like weed pens and fake IDs. You're gonna go to jail for a long time. Oh,
It's already purple.
it's already purple. Gasp.
Positive.
Oh my God.
What's your phone?
Bitch, she told you it was a fucking weed pen before you even found the thing from searching her car under bullshit pretense. Don't act all surprised like you're crime dog McGruff and you just took down a drug kingpin and made the streets safer for our children. And while we're on the subject of THC, pardon my enthusiasm, can we just talk about how unreal it is that in Florida, bath salt smoking, freedom loving, daily, crazy, crime headline, fucked up Florida, it's still illegal to have a little recreational THC on you? What an unbelievable backward state.
So is Florida. Hot and sticky, like my balls.
Out of all the things you could possibly get arrested for, having a weed pen, in my eyes, is one of the most fucking ludicrous. But Leon, it's against the law. It's the law in the state of Florida. It says here on line 27B32, you are no longer allowed THC. Shut the fuck up. There is so much wrong with this fucking country, and people that have a weed pen on them for a little recreational use, I promise you, are not one of them.
It's a felony to be in possession of fraudulent driver's licenses and the marijuana vape pen. Okay.
Yep.
So unfortunately, I do have to place you under arrest.
And now they arrest her for a felony. Starts bawling. Pulled over for an abandoned vehicle tag because her car got towed a month ago. Fuck out of here, dude.
She's in the notes, right?
Yes.
Number 6.
Life for this for me. Also, I think it's small.
The female in the notes, she's going to be 10-15 for single 18.
We're going to come back here to the car. You still have your gloves on. I know she's not wearing much in this shirt.
Yeah, and then her neck.
Yeah, and her earrings.
Yep. Knock off your shoe for me.
Knock out, the shoes are coming off. Here we go. Listen, I'm not trying to shit on these officers, right? I don't, like, in theory, they're technically just doing their job. But there's gotta be room for nuance, I feel like. I don't know, listen, I'm just a pleb on the internet that watches things and has an opinion on things, but like, do we really need to be wasting resources in fucking this girl's life up over a little weed pen? And I get the fake ID thing is a bigger problem, but like, dude, what, like, she's just trying to go to a bar for the next 6 months with her friends before she turns 21 and is allowed to drink. You know what I mean? Like, just seems unnecessary.
It's like you almost knew that I was looking in that purse,
Oh, fuck you.
right? It's okay,
Right.
you can be honest.
Don't you be honest? You
I
knew
said
you
it's
had
not
that
my
weed pen.
birthday.
You know I saw you. You know I was looking.
I know you're not.
It's like you almost knew I was looking for a reason to fuck you, even though you haven't really done anything wrong. Shut up.
But I want this to be a lesson for you, okay?
Don't vape.
So, and actually even more so of a lesson, you know? It's not our first day on the road, all right? I know, but here's the thing. Now let this be a lesson, okay? You shouldn't have fake IDs, and you should not have THC.
The travesty of justice right now. So the charges were dropped after she completed 75 hours of community service with a nonprofit of her choice.
Yeah, like body sprays and stuff like that. I'll say that. Yeah, I'll just get you the wallet or whatever.
And then the complete opposite scenario in the end card here, where an entitled 18-year-old talks herself into arrest. Quite the opposite. So a couple of things here, right? First of all, clearly I wasn't super happy with how that was handled. Like, even though they were doing their job, it's just like, this is one of those situations, and again, I think it hits close to home to me because of the way this almost exact same scenario with some minor differences happened to me when I was 20, and looking back on it thinking like, I don't think that made me a better person. Honestly, it just made me fucking angry. At the time, I was just like, fuck this guy, and it made me really bitter for a while, and you know, I have a great deal of love and respect for law enforcement and LEO around the country and the world that like deal with actual criminals, because we live in a world filled with really fucked up bullshit, terrible, evil human beings, and they're on the front lines dealing with that shit all the time. Situations like this gets me a little angry. So I wanted to add a little balance to obviously the things that I watch on this channel where it's like, go police, fuck these people, and this one's more like, man, this girl didn't deserve that, I don't think. Is she breaking the law? Was she technically? A little bit of gray area there, a little bit of nuance. One thing that I always say in these videos though, which has never been more on display than right now, is that when you handle yourself with poise and decorum and you act respectful to the officers and the law enforcement that you're dealing with, no matter the situation, no matter the charges, it only goes to serve you in the long run. This girl got arrested, possible felony charges for possession of a fake ID, possession of THC, which is illegal in Florida, which is insane. Charges dropped. 75 hours of community service with a nonprofit of her choice. I imagine she probably had to pay some sort of fine. But all the other videos we watch where shit like this happens, the individuals go on to exacerbate the situation, freak out, they have no emotional control, and they end up catching 3, 4, 5 other charges because they can't control themselves. So it just goes to show you that even when you're being treated poorly or maybe unfairly, be respectful and calm, and when it plays out, it almost always works out in your favor. It's validating for me looking at the comments of this video as well, because most of the people agree. Oftentimes when I look at these body cam vids, everyone's in the comments like, yeah, fuck that person. Feels good to see him get wrecked. But everyone's like, this is ridiculous. Blast her face all over the internet for nothing. Asked to search because she grabs a purse. She was respectful the entire time. Small mistakes that we've all made before. Respect to her for remaining calm and respectful. Wow, they're really keeping our community safe. Absolutely pathetic. And finally, a former officer chimes in and sums it up, I believe, quite nicely. He says, this should have been a cite and release or a warning. She was incredibly respectful during the entire stop. My goal was never to assist in fucking up the future of our young men and women. We were all young once. We certainly were. And hell, I don't know, maybe I'm just naive and my arrest when I was 20 really turned me into the man I was today. But part of me thinks I would have turned out all right regardless. Either way, let me know what you guys think in the comments about this one. Like I said, I wanted to add a little bit of balance, and I just needed to get my personal arrest story off my chest. And this felt like the perfect opportunity to do just that. Before you go, if you could do me one quick favor, stand up out of your chair, dump your weed pen out of your pocket, pull down your pants, and hip thrust that motherfucking like button, and make sure you subscribe before you leave. That would mean the world to me. I appreciate your time. I never take it for granted. Thank you so much for being here. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.